right, everyone go ahead and get your name. So remember, our grade every week for LLI is for reading, writing, and this week for social studies. Last month, went by so quickly, for Black History Month. You know how I feel about that, though. I don't think that one culture, gender should be the only time we celebrate it in a month. So this month, March, is Women's History Month, but we're going to continue talking about racial inequality and injustice along with impactful women. So I want you to go ahead and look at the picture, both on your paper, and then you'll see it on the screen in just a moment. And I want you to think about what you think the significance or importance of that picture is. There's a color picture on the screen. The lady holding the baby and the man holding her. Think about what the importance of that picture might be. It says, what is the significance or importance of this photo of the First Lady of Botswana, Ruth Williams, and the first president, Sir Seretse Khama, the paramount chief of Bamangwato tribe in southern Africa? Go ahead and tell what you think is the significance or importance of that particular photo. All right, love how Sakel's already writing. He's got an idea. Remember, not a right or wrong answer here, it's just what you think might be important about this photo. Tori's looking at the photo. Quavia's writing. Josh is thinking about it. Like how LaQuavia started her sentence with the prompt before she started answering. All right, so Kel, can you share that out in a second? Not yet. I'm going to make sure everybody's got their idea. You got it. You can look at the girl what you're doing too. Might make you think a little different than the black and white picture. Gonna wrap up in about 20 seconds. Like how we're writing complete sentences. They have done what they have done. Okay. Intersistence. Okay. Out loud. Yep. All right. So, everyone's pencils down in 3, 2, 1. Tracking the board in 0. All pencils are down. All right, Josh. What did you put for about why you think that photo is significant? Go ahead.
I really ain't know, but
That's okay. Try your best.
I said they should be treated the same. I don't know where I got that from, but
You said what?
that they should be treated the same.
Okay. He said that they should be treated the same, and he said he's not sure where he got that from. So look at the picture, Josh. And what in that picture makes you think that you said they should be treated the same?
Because it's white and black people up there.
Okay, it's white and black people on the picture, okay? So, Cal, what did you have? Love House LaQuavia is tracking him already. Josh is tracking him.
I said, I think what is important in these pictures is that, like, racial equality, because there are different races of women on the left side of the picture, and there are different races of men and women on the right side of the picture.
Right. Okay, so now we're going to get a little more schema or background knowledge on this. We're going to watch an introductory video, and it will tell you a lot more about who this lady, the First Lady of Botswana, Ruth Williams, is, and her husband, the chief, President Seretse Khama. All right? So everyone is tracking. Josh is going to hit the lights for us. The video is called The Love Story That Shocked the World, and you're going to make sure you're taking down at least 4 notes to gain some knowledge, and then we're going to talk about it. Love how everyone is tracking.
We can get there. And well.
it was amazing how they had so much in common with such different backgrounds.
All right, so what are some of the things that you might have learned? A couple of facts that you learned. I love how LaQuavia is raising her hand. I know we have some good ideas. We talked to the gentleman last time, so maybe this time we'll talk to the ladies. LaQuavia, what is something you learned about the video?
So some acknowledgement background I had gained is that a white girl and a black man could not go out together or even be together, and many people was against them getting married, and they was brave to even do that because like back then, I guess that back then, like white, they think like black women and black men couldn't go together because they skin color.
Well, white men and black women, or vice versa, right? Okay, where did it say? Did anyone catch where they were from? Were they from the United States? No. Where were they from, Sakel? Where was he from?
He was from Botswana.
Yeah, and that's in South Africa. Toriana, where did it say she was from? Britain, yeah. Okay, Toriana, what's a fact that you learned about in the video? Okay, the black gentleman went back to his country with his new wife. And what happened when they went there, Josh?
They get kicked out.
Okay, yeah, they got exiled or kicked out. And was it just his country that was against them, Sakel?
No.
No. Her country as well, right? They said the leader, Winston Churchill, he said what? That they were brave, but
they got kicked out of the
right, that he still didn't want it to go on, that they weren't going to be allowed. And then who was his relative that was helping to raise him after his dad died that did not agree with him being the tribal leader with a white wife? Josh? His uncle, right. All right, so you learned a lot of information about people from Britain and South Africa today, and this was in the 1940s. It was when?
1940.
Yeah, so everyone flip to the next page in 3, 2, 1. So, yes, this was in South Africa and Britain in the 1940s that had occurred with that particular love story that was not allowed, and then they allowed them to, right? And they had their cute kids, and then they got to lead the country. She was the first lady of Botswana. All right, but these events also were happening in the United States, as we're a lot more familiar with. Anti-miscegenation. What's that word?
Anti-miscegenation.
Miscegenation meant that a mixing of races, whether it be romantic or a marriage, that was totally illegal, starting in the 1800s during slavery, going all the way into the late 1960s. Just let that sink in for a second. 1960s, right? We know a lot more about that, right? With Rosa Parks, Claudette Colvin, Martin Luther King with the civil rights movement. But people were not also allowed to marry or mix races. So we're going to, in a second, read the Newsy LA article attached about a couple from the United States. And it was a court case that is very famous that actually made interracial marriage legal, called Loving versus Virginia. So everybody flip to that article on the next page. Love how we're already flipping there. And we're going to take turns, everyone's following along, while people are reading their section with prosody, which means what, Tori? Yeah, you're showing emotion when you read. We don't sound like robots, and we're making sure we pay attention to our punctuation at the end of sentences. We're going to read, and then we're going to do our competition so we can get bonus dollars for our annotations. How many words should we have for a paragraph, LaQuavia?
3 to 5 words.
Yep. 3 to 5 word annotation. Annotation, awesome. Okay, so that picture there is Mildred Loving and her husband, Richard P. Loving. And that's a picture from 1965. And they challenged Virginia's ban, that was the state they were from, with interracial marriage. And it led to this very famous case in the Supreme Court ruling. Okay, so Sakel, go ahead and start us out. Richard Loving was, go ahead, loud and proud.
Richard Loving was a white man. Mildred Jeter was a black woman. In 1957, they broke Virginia law by getting married. At the time, most states did not allow blacks and whites to marry.
Excellent. Go ahead to the next paragraph. Josh?
Richard Loving and Mildred Jeter lived in Central Point, Virginia. He was a white construction worker. She was African American and Native American. They were old friends who fell in love. In June 1958, they got married in Washington, D.C. It was illegal there.
Right, pause. So let's go back up to that second paragraph. We look like we skipped one sentence. It said the court said that states could not prevent what, Tori? Right here. Keep going loud and proud. And? Okay, keep going. Great. So now you just read those two paragraphs together. I want you to come up with a 3 to 5 word annotation. All right, so now we're going to come back and let's see who won the competition for the first two paragraphs. So, Kel, what did you have for the first two paragraphs? Love how we're tracking.
For the first two paragraphs, I put separating blacks from whites.
Oh, let's count.
Marrying.
Separating blacks from whites, marrying. All right, so we got 5. Let's see if LaQuavia can do any better.
Do I have to,
Yep, go ahead. You got it.
Read.
Nope, go ahead. You got it.
I said that, they broke the law.
Okay, they broke the law. Do you think that is the most significant?
Wait, no.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, I have to ask them.
Go ahead.
Wait,
You got it. Love the shine we're giving her. Encouragement.
Maybe like.
Okay, you said because they felt it was not right, right?
Which means
So
that maybe that they didn't agree with the law.
Right. So put what's a way you could say not agreeing with the law, Josh, to shorten hers to 3 to 5 only? To help her shorten hers. Don't read us yours. How can we help her shorten hers? She said they didn't agree with the law, so they broke it. So how can we shorten hers? Well, Pastor Kel's ready to help next.
They went against.
Okay, went against law. Okay, what kind of law was it, LaQuavia?
It was the Virginia law.
Well, I'm saying was it right or wrong? What's another word you could say if something is not right? It's a what kind of law? So, Kel?
Disagreement law.
Well, an unjust law. So went against unjust law or injustice. Yep, excellent. All right, now let's go ahead to that next section. It says Richard and Mildred Loving. All right, everyone's following along. Richard Loving and Mildred Jeter lived in Central Point, Virginia. He was a white construction worker. She was African American and they were old friends who fell in love. In June 1958, they got married in Washington, D.C. It was legal there. Next page. Then they returned home to
Virginia.
How is this very similar to the video we just watched about the First Lady and President of Botswana? What did they have to do? LaQuavia, in the video we watched, what did they have to do?
They had to leave their country.
Yeah, they were forced to leave. There was a ban, right? So this wasn't a country that Mildred and Richard had to leave, but they had to leave their what, Josh? Their state. They had to leave their
State.
Yeah. What state did it say they left, Sakel? Love how he's looking back in his text evidence to find it. So, Sakel, go ahead and read that next paragraph loud and proud. In 2015?
In 2015, the Supreme Court made gay marriage legal. The injustices brought up Loving, Virginia. They say the case showed that marriage is a human right.
Okay, June 12th is Loving Day. The holiday actually marks the anniversary of Loving versus Virginia decision, but it also celebrates multiracial families. And 1. Okay, LaQuavia, what did you have, perfect timing, for your topic?
My topic that I got is marriage rights.
Okay, marriage rights. She stuck with a 1 to 2 words. Pause. So, Kel, what did you have for your topic?
Racial injustice.
Okay, either one of those could have been right. And then I know Tori has a sore throat today, so I'm going to go ahead and look. We're all looking at the author's opinion of the topic. So she put that the author thinks, love how we're tracking, feels or believes it is wrong for people being put in jail for being with their love or a person of an opposite color. Excellent job. Josh, what did you have for the author's opinion of the topic?
They ended up changing the law.
All right, so now we're on the last page. Let's look at that quote by Mildred Loving, this important lady we're looking at today, who also battled racial injustice. It says, surrounded as I am now by wonderful
Children.
and grandchildren, not a day goes by that I don't think of Richard and our love, our right to marry, and how much it meant to me to have that freedom to marry the person precious to me, even if others thought he was the wrong kind of person for me to marry. Okay, think about that quote. Now I want you to think, and we're going to discuss quickly, how did Mildred Loving and her husband Richard possibly help to change things for you, for your family, friends, and other people of the future of our United States? What do you think? How did they change things for us? Love how we're thinking about it. We're just discussing this. We're not writing this. We're just going to discuss it. Love how our pencils are down. So, Kel, what do you think? How did they change the future for us? Love how we're tracking.
I think they changed the way of love for us because, like for everyone can do or love whoever they want right now.
Okay.
It don't matter if they LGBT or anything else like that. They can still love or marry whoever they want to.
Awesome. LaQuavia, what do you think?
I said music, loving her husband Richard possibly helped to change the future for you and your friends and other people future in the U.S. because now we can like marry who we want without people like being racist about our skin color and who or what we should marry.
Right. How many people in this room, they either know somebody who is of mixed racial descent or ancestry, or they actually are. They have mixed ancestry, mixed parents, mixed grandparents, mixed friends, mixed families, right? Lots of different people. I do as well. So they actually help change the future and history for us. All right? Everyone go ahead and put your papers in your binder and let's get ready to transition. Love how we're moving quickly. Awesome job.